Welcome to Another Cup, part of the Exchange Coffee Podcasting Network, presented by Kavoya Specialty Coffee, where coffee is always a collaborative voyage. Another Cup is devoted to conversations with suppliers, customers, and all the relationships in between. In Episode 8, Kavoya's sales analyst Lisa Collins talks with sales representative Angela Greenhagen. Lisa?
Hello, everybody. I'm here with Angela Greenhagen. She is one of our sales reps here at Kavoya Specialty Coffee. And we're going to do a cute interview. Are you ready? Are you excited?
I am ready. I am excited.
That's right.
Yeah. Totally.
Amazing. Okay, well, my first question for you, Angela, is tell us about yourself.
So originally I am from Northern California, emphasis on Northern, NorCal baby, born and raised, and kind of a mix between Sacramento and up north, by Mount Lassen and Mount Shasta. So I had a pretty fun little childhood there. When I was 21, I moved to Washington. So I was doing community college, and I'd always wanted to live in Seattle and go to the University of Washington. And so, a couple weeks before I'm supposed to leave, I have everything set up, classes, roommates, housing. I look up directions to get from Sacramento to Washington State University, which is where I got accepted. And I realized that it was literally as far away from Seattle as you could possibly get while still being in the state of Washington. And I was like, what's going on? I thought this school is in Seattle. So I called the school and I was like, there's got to be a mistake. I thought I was going to Seattle. And they're like, no, you applied to Washington State University and we're actually located in Pullman. And you must have thought you were applying to University of Washington, but that's not what happened. And I was like, oh. So I decided to just still go because what was I going to do? I had everything set up. And I'm so grateful that I did that because that's sort of how I got my first coffee job. So I was living there and school was cool, but I needed a job. And so I got a job at this little cafe in Pullman. And that's how my coffee journey began.
I love it.
Yeah, it was like total accident. Just fell right into it. I think that's how so many of us started in coffee, though.
That's what I have learned meeting everybody in this industry. It just falls onto your lap or you fall onto its.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like mutual lapping for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I always loved coffee, like being a little teenager in California. I mean, that's the cool thing that you did. You would go to Starbucks and you'd get your little Frappuccino. So I always loved being in coffee shops. So I was beyond excited to actually work in one and learn how to make coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been a barista, but you've also done other roles prior to this role in coffee shops. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, I feel like I've done pretty much everything under the sun and inside the four walls of a cafe, roastery, bakery scenario. So basically, and I mean literally everything. Dishwasher, baker, prepper, barista, lead barista, manager, trainer. I think I'm missing some stuff. Quality control. Director of coffee. I think I've pretty much done it all. I mean, I spent 10 years doing it. So anything that I didn't know how to do, I was very interested to learn how to do it. Even if that meant wearing like multiple hats under the same role. Just anyone who would teach me how to literally do anything, that's what I was there for. I spent a couple years in Pullman and I was like, I want to dive headfirst into coffee. So I moved to Seattle and that's how I got super connected with the industry there and started diving deep into specialty coffee because up until then I was definitely not doing specialty coffee. So once I learned about specialty coffee, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I loved Seattle, but I just felt like it wasn't for me, so I decided to move to the East Coast. And then I got out here I was like, wow, like the way they do coffee out here is so different than the West Coast, and the way that they run shops out here is so different. And I felt like I had so much to give from my experiences of learning how to do coffee out West and kind of bring a little West Coast to the East Coast. That's when I started developing training programs for different roasters or coffee shops in New England, implementing that, just kind of cutting my teeth and just learning how to do that.
I love it.
Falling in love with it. I think training and education is my favorite thing to do.
And you're very good at it.
Thank
Angela
you.
runs most of our cuppings here, and me cupping in as a complete day one learner, you have been the greatest asset on this team for explaining how everything goes and helping people find their taste, and it's really cool. It's been really fun to watch you in that role.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun for me. Any chance I get to do that kind of stuff, I'm so game.
Yeah. So tell us what else you do here at Kavoya.
Cool. So, I'm a sales rep. So we're working a lot with a lot of people, and I love that. Yep, doing all the roasting, all the cuppings. I was also doing customer service for the last couple of years too, and that's been really fun. Just answering all the phones and responding to everybody. I feel like the last couple of years has gone by so quickly.
It has. We started around the same time.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This month. Or for me, and then you were just a little bit after. But
Just a little bit.
it's crazy how time flies.
I know, and it feels like it's already been 5 years.
I know. But I feel like 2-year mark is really where you feel like super confident and that you know all the ins and outs.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'd say for those first 6 months, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. We were running around like headless chickens.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who works here?
What are all these words?
What do you mean? We have reference numbers per coffee.
Yeah.
I have a whole system to learn now.
Yeah, that was such a trip. Is like, being in the industry for 10 years and doing everything under the sun in the cafe space. And then coming over here and being like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
None of this transfers.
Yeah, it's those specific details that you have to learn fresh no matter where you go.
Yeah, and it's like a totally different mind shift, and just the way that you're thinking about everything and the way that you're operating, it's like a paradigm shift. Everything has to change. And it's been really cool. I mean, I've been loving learning it. And now I feel like, now I'm 2 years in, and it's like, okay, well, I sort of know how things work now.
You definitely know how things work now.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the biggest culture shock from moving from barista space to import-export space?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like I could go on and on. My biggest culture shock, for sure, was going from constant daily interaction with your clients and your customers and your direct consumers to having like 5% of that amount of interaction. And that was crazy for me because I'm so used to talking to so many people every day, the same people every day, and just going through that daily ritual with people. That was always like the best part of my day, working in the cafe space. Was just doing that. And so then working in an office space, you obviously don't have that anymore. I think that was my first adjustment I had to make. Maybe the second one is like, sitting down at a desk.
Yes.
Staying still.
Not coming from a desk job to a desk job is crazy on the body.
Yes. I mean, thank God we have standing desks.
Yes.
But I think my first year working here, every single hour, I would leave the office and do a walk around the block.
You need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to be walked.
Oh, yeah.
Outside time.
Oh,
always.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we should really start bringing that back, actually.
I know. Right when winter is starting.
Yeah, right? When it's icy and cold. On the hour, every day, we're doing a walk around the block.
I love it.
Yeah, those were probably my two biggest adjustments.
Yeah. But you, since you have been shifting from customer service to more sales rep, you do get to go on sales trips, sales visits to your customer and building that book. And that's been really cool to watch you grow in that way. Do you want to talk about how those sales visits go?
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, it's my favorite thing ever. My best days are when I'm out in the field visiting people and talking to people and just understanding what they're doing and what they need. I love that. And it brings me back to that cafe space. And I love being in a cafe space or a roasting space. I just feel so at home. So it's just so much fun. And you get to get out of the office for a day. And you get to, feels like you're exploring with a really cool purpose in mind. So anybody who opens their doors for me and lets me come to their space and talk with them and hang out and get to know each other, that's always going to be my number one favorite thing in the world.
It's the heart of coffee.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where my heart is, for sure. Yeah.
I think it's obvious. I think your customers would say the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, of course. Of course it is. You're so passionate about this work.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know what I would have done with my life if I hadn't found coffee, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any other paths.
Hobby horse riding?
Hobby horse riding.
For the listeners at home, Angela brought to our staff meeting, what type of hobby horse competitor would you be? And I think that's the craziest question we have ever discussed as a team.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I was overjoyed with the responses. It was the funnest, best day ever.
It's incredible.
Hobby horsing is basically this thing. It's a real competition. It started up in Finland. And you know those like stick horses that you get when you're a little kid? You know, you're like 8 years old and you're bopping around with like this little stick horse pretending to be a cowboy. Basically imagine that, but doing for real obstacle courses. For real ones. And it's a whole bit.
And you're an adult.
It's a whole bit. And adults
medals.
actually do it.
Yes.
Yep.
It was incredible to learn about.
Yeah. So I sent everyone a YouTube video and I said, hey guys, listen, if you were a hobby horser, watch this video. What kind of horse are you riding? What's your show outfit? What's your pony's name? And what's your category? Oh my gosh. If you guys do your own version of this and email me your whole bit, I would love that. I would absolutely adore that.
Participation award will be given out.
Yes. Gold stars coming to you.
Incredible. Okay,
Yeah.
so besides hobby horse riding, what other things are you into outside of work?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say before I started working in importing, one of my biggest hobbies was actually visiting different roasters and coffee shops. But now I get to do that for work, which is great. So it's opened up the door for different kinds of hobbies. Number one, I love hiking. I love going outdoors. I want a peaceful walk in the woods. Did you know that you could also do trail riding as a hobby horser?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think you sent me that video as well.
Maybe that's soon to come. We'll find out. I picked up embroidery last winter. So our New England winters, they're so long, they're so dark, they're so cold. There's not a lot going on. So I decided to just pick up a new craft. So I started embroidering and I absolutely love it. So I'm doing that. Reading books, hanging out, doing puzzles. I know we share a love of puzzles.
Mm-hmm. It's puzzle winter season.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Lisa are going to start doing puzzle exchanges.
Yes, we are. The New England Puzzle Exchange is coming soon.
Yes.
It's just
hot
us.
comps. Actually, something I did want to propose is I was wondering, after you've done a puzzle once or twice and you're familiar with the puzzle, do you ever time yourself to see how fast you can do it?
I have never, but I've wanted to.
Should we compete with each other and time ourselves doing puzzles?
Yes.
And see who wins?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we have to do it in one sitting, or
No.
you
Yeah, we can spread it out. Just get like a timer.
Yeah,
and every time log how many hours you spent.
I love it. I normally measure my puzzles by how many glasses of wine I drink alongside of it.
Wait, you do it in one sitting?
2 to 3 nights, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I love them.
She might beat me.
Friendly competition.
But it's 2 fire signs, so.
I know, of course.
It's always friendly, but it's always competitive.
It's just 2 fire signs saying, yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. All right, Ange. See, that wasn't that bad, was it?
Yapper's gonna yap.
We yapping. Cool. Good job, Ange.
Thanks.
You've been listening to Another Cup, part of the Exchange Coffee Podcasting Network, presented by Kavoya Specialty Coffee and produced by me, Mike Ferguson. Our free use theme music for this episode, 3 songs: Cowboy Riding the Horse by No Wi-Fi, Dancing Hobby by Pump Up the Mind, and music for Puzzle Game by Ivan Travesco. You can email me with questions, thoughts, ideas, or your personal height record for jumping with your hobby horse at mike.ferguson@kavoya.com. Seriously, not seriously, if you want to make Angela's day and share your hobby horse game plan with her, you can email her at angela.greenhagen@kavoya.com. And as always, thanks for listening.
Percolators.
And they're like, sure, Mike.
They're just dead air. And Todd goes,